So first thing off, this is under our manufacturer brand, Marksman. This is the Mark 12 Mod 0, aka the SPR MOD0, which is essentially a kind of early global war on terror DMR, which has been faithfully reproduced with a real carbon fiber handguard and this large rail, a little bit of a classic, if you will. And it will come essentially, as you see here, though it will also come with the suppressor seen here, which also, by the way, has threading inside in case you want to put on a tracer on that, and as such. And this will have a full-length steel barrel, which I believe is a heavy profile barrel as well. It will also have the latest EVO system features inside of it, which makes this one of the early VFC system guns. This is VFC system, by the way. Early VFC system guns to have that EVO hop-up, and I believe it will also have the EVO bolt as well. So this is a bit of a deluxe version gun with all the deluxe features, and of course this cool and unique DMR styling here. This we do not have a date for yet, but it will be soon. It will be coming sometime next year. We actually had this last year. Going on to this is the RO633, aka the DOE submachine gun, the DOE cold submachine gun, which unfortunately we still don't have a date for this, but it is coming soon, again, hopefully next year. We talked a bit about this last year, but as you can see, it's very cool. Known as the DOE Colt because this was made and contracted in some numbers for the Department of Energy for the security guards for like nuclear sites and such. So it's got a pretty unique history and also just looks very cool and unique. A lot of people are super into this. This is not from our brand, but this is from APFG, who's known for kind of their MCX style replicas that have been around. This is a replica of the US Army's latest mainline infantry firearm, the XM7, aka now the M7, now that it is considered out of testing, though they're still changing things. Features wise, this is supposedly, there's been lots of changes for the M7, but supposedly this is a M7 PIE Phase 1 set of features for this. This will essentially run under the VFC system. It will have these magazines, which are going to be compatible with the existing VFC SCAR-H as well as SR25 and M1110 magazines. So feed lips and everything is compatible with those. If you already have those magazines, you can run those. However, it will also come with this, which is, I believe, a replica of a SIG style metal magazine. So the outside will be different, but the function will be compatible with some existing ones. And it's quite nice, and so far has run quite well. Nice and snappy and a fair amount of recoil. It has a full 6061 CNC handguard, but it has a cast receiver. It also has a non-steel barrel. This is supposedly going to be coming out by the end of December. It's very, very soon. We'll see if if they stick to that, but end of December, at worst probably January. You're likely going to be able to get your hands on this in Asia at least, and then local markets will see what time it arrives. This is a Xiphos, the part of Marksman's 1X, or basically 9 in Latin numerals, if you will, 9mm style PCCs here. This is a very high level representation of this. Full CNC upper and lower. It's full CNC aluminum, so it's really very light and very, very handy, and is also fully licensed by the original's Battle Arms development. And it has some interesting features, including the replica of the original Battle Arms development grip here, where you can change the angle and such. We have a replica of the Korean K5 pistol, which somewhat niche, but the Korean players are super excited about this. This is a very, interesting little pistol here, which is the service pistol that many Korean military guys and even conscripts have had. And a lot of guys come by and say this brings back memories, good and bad, of their time in the Korean military there. One unique, interesting feature about this is this accurately reproduces what's called the fast action system of the original KP5, which is that you can decock it by simply pressing the hammer up. So it doesn't have a decocking lever. The decocker is performed by just pressing it up like that, which is a very interesting and unique feature. No other gun has that anywhere, and we've basically reproduced that. Unfortunately, we do not have a specific date for this, but we're hoping within the next year. This, the K2, which is perhaps the most hotly anticipated actually product that we have coming out here. which we showed off last year, but we now are able to share with you a date, which is going to be Q2 of 2026. It's a faithful reproduction of the K2 Korean infantry arm here. This time is actually going to be different from the K1A, which was previously released and made in very small numbers. This is going to be made in larger numbers, and one of the big differences is that the receiver here is going to be out of a cast material, which makes it much easier to make at scale. So you can expect more of these to be out there. Almost everything here is steel. All the barrels are steel, all the controls were expected to be are steel and such. The only thing that isn't really steel is this front sight post. This isn't something that exists on the real one, but we wanted to make sure that people have the ability to mount red dots out of the box. So it will come with this rail. I believe out of the box it won't be attached, but it will come with the rail and the screws to attach it. So you can attach red dots to your K2 out of the box. We also, hopefully, we're still pending some of the details on this, but this is very accurately manufactured to the real dimensions. So these rails are actually real rails made by a Korean company, MITS. Real charging handle, real grip. Basically all the real K2 aftermarket parts should fit on with no issues.